Hey everybody, Jason Calzada here with FastechPerformance.com, and
how's it going, guys? Ricardo with Phastek Performance, and today we're putting on quad tips on our car.
yeah,
Some of you guys know, for the longest time we had the single tip version exhaust. We wanted to kind of change it up a little bit, so we decided let's go ahead and put the quad tip on it. It also kind of educates us to let you guys know what kind of needed to do it. So that's one thing we're going to kind of shoot for today. We have most of the exhaust system already done. Obviously, to get the quad tips in place, we need to change out the rear diffuser. So as you guys can see here, we still have the single tip diffuser. We're going to pull the bumper off, change that diffuser out, and then hopefully finish up the exhaust system, fire it up for you guys, let y'all hear it.
so what we're doing, guys, today is, like you said, we're changing out the diffuser, but what we're doing is we're adding quad tips. That's the main objective today. We're going with the MBRP, which is part number S7033409. This is their 2016 Camaro SS Catback Race version, 409 stainless steel. What we swapped out, though, is this dual tip stainless works 3-inch system is what we're changing from. On the system here, you can kind of see the tips, that they are dual. You can see where it has the AFM block offs for that you can remount the motors.
Yeah, so pretty much touch on this system a little bit. We're going pretty much from a 5-inch tip to, I want to say, a dual 3-inch tip. So we kind of see the size difference there, but that system, this stainless work system, comes with a big 5-inch system compared to the MBRP.
I think that's what it's a 4-inch tip is what that is, MBRP.
The MBRP is 4-inch tip?
I think it's 3.5, 4-inch, yeah. So anyways.
3.5, 4-inch tip, yeah. So that's just really kind of what we're doing, and we wanted the quad look on the car too, so that's where we're going.
And plus, the other thing too is the exhaust system that we're going with, the MBRP, it's more aggressive than the stainless works. The stainless works is a great exhaust system if you're looking for something that's not going to be extremely loud. It's not going to be overbearing. This is definitely a great cruising exhaust system. In the automatic car, it does have just a tad bit of drone, just like any automatic car is basically going to have. But it's not like it was where it's going to kill you. You can have full-on conversation. Car's going to sound great when you get on it, but it's not going to be overly loud. So with the MBRP being a 3-inch as well, it's going to be aggressive. It's going to be much more aggressive than the stainless works. But let's go ahead and get started with Ricardo over here, guys. He's going to show you how to take off this rear diffuser.
Yeah, pretty much the rear diffuser, the whole bumper actually comes off fairly easy. What some people kind of are asking, do I need to take off the bumper to get the rear diffuser? Unfortunately, yes, you do. There are some clips on the back side of the bumper that will require to be removed. So removing the bumper allows you to get to the clips pretty much.
Yeah, we've heard some people say they taken off that rear diffuser without taking off that bumper. If they did that, they had to tear something up, and we'll show you why.
There's some clips up here that you just have to take off.
Yeah.
So the bumper comes off actually fairly easy. If Jason can kind of get over here, on each side of the fender there are 3 bolts that hold the liner in place. Those 3 bolts will take off, and then it's going to reveal a 7mm kind of up here. You can kind of see if I pull it back. That's 7mm. We're going to take that off as well. So that's going to come off, and then a couple other 7mm on the bottom side holding the liner and some other stuff on. But we'll go ahead and get going on that.
Now we've taken this panel off before because obviously, as you know, when you get the dual tip, it doesn't come painted gloss black like this. We actually taken this off already and painted this one painted gloss black, which also is like a couple shows ago. If you watched a couple weeks ago, we talked about that we are going to. We showed you the diffuser panel that we're putting on. And we showed that it's a flat black when you get it from GM.
Yeah. When you get that from GM, it's flat black. But we'll go ahead and remove this bolt right here, and everything else you kind of see on the passenger side that we're on here is going to kind of stay in place. As far as like a wiring harness or anything, there's nothing on this side to disconnect. It's on the driver's side that we'll go ahead and disconnect. And like I said, just a couple more screws in the bottom, and we'll be ready. So you can see there, that's the shield bracket. So it's kind of disconnecting everything, so it's sitting there just loosely until we go back together, and then it's going to bolt it right back down.
So this is, we've already got most of the MBRP exhaust on this car. On this, we'll show you as we go up in the air that you will basically be disconnecting you'll be cutting your factory exhaust system to install the MBRP. It is a true catback system.
Yeah. So we're gonna make sure that's disconnected there. It's just those 2 bolts, and then we'll go over here on the driver's side. And it's the same amount of bolts on the passenger side as it is on the driver's side, as far as everything. And then once I get the fender liner pulled back, we'll show you that connector that you have to disconnect.
So just to point out, as he's taking that off, is on this Stainless Works exhaust system, the 3-inch for your SS, if you notice, whenever you put this exhaust system on, right there, you're going to eliminate the secondary calic converter. So the secondary calic converter actually bolts directly to on the passenger side. It'll bolt directly to the other calic converter. This one will slide in on it, but this one actually eliminates the secondary cat, whereas this MBRP does not. It does not. It's a full catback, so you're going to have your factory calic converters back in place.
All right, so here we are on the back half. I pulled the liner back a little bit. You can kind of see these 2 connectors. Both these connectors are going to have to come unplugged. These little red tabs, you push those little little locks out of the way, and you squeeze the connector itself, and it should come sliding right off. Might be a little tough, but they will slide out.
Robert, are you going to need a tune after the install? Yeah, you're going to have something that's going to, on this particular exhaust system on the MBRP, since we're no longer running the AFM valves. Let me show you the AFM valves. Okay, so this is the AFM valves right here. Okay, these are the factory ones. We're not going to be running these anymore, and you're going to need a tune to turn off the AFM valve. Now we haven't hit it with the Diablo yet to see if it's going to turn it off, because we were running this on the Stainless Works system, and the way it worked on the Stainless Works system is basically what it's going to do. It's just going to go right in here. Right there, and you can see it in here. It's kind of a empty hole, so this motor's not going to run on anything. It's just going to basically bolt right up to it, and then it's just going to freewheel in there basically. So yeah, you're going to need a tune for that on this exhaust system as well. This Stainless Works exhaust system, you're going to need a tune for turning off the AFM valves, and also since you're eliminating secondary calic converter, you're going to need a tune for that as well. So just so you know.
Yeah, that's something to kind of keep in mind.
Now we had this exhaust system on here for several thousand miles, and we ran around with the check engine light for the most part. I know we did mess with some of the tuning on it, turn it on and off, but for the long time we ran around with a check engine light on the car. It didn't hurt anything. It didn't affect anything.
No, we were good.
Yeah, so we were good. I mean, full-on pulls on the highway, no issues whatsoever. So right here he's.
So I got that, and pretty much what I did is I got behind the fender liner, got my hand back there, and I just pulled back. Is all I did. Just right here on this gap right here, and you pulled back. One thing you want to kind of pay attention to is that this connector is a little close to this body seam right here. So kind of make sure you kind of put a little angle on it and kind of push back a little bit to pop it right out of these clips. The same style clips are all along this bottom side of the bumper, all along here under the taillights. So we're not going to have to remove the taillights or anything. But we are going to have to lift up the trunk just because there is a gap under here.
Did you disconnect it?
What?
Oh, the trunk still pop?
It did earlier. Oh, you know what? Yeah.
Yeah, so
that's the thing about the trunk.
Yeah, just real quick, guys. Make sure before you disconnect those 2 plugs,
there we go,
that you pop the trunk.
Yeah.
And where's your trunk button?
Right there.
Right there.
Try now.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing. There we go. There we go. There we are, guys.
All right, so pretty much this bottom gap right here is going to pull out pretty much. So like I said, this side's still on, as you guys can see, and you can see exactly what I'm going to do. So I'm going to put my hand right here on the slip. I'm not grabbing a big lip on it or anything, and just kind of tug it back. like I said, it'll pop out of those filters. It's gonna feel like you're gonna break it, but you're not. So it's pretty sturdy.
Now, when taking this off, you might need a hand.
Yeah.
Okay, that's why we got the other Ricardo over here helping him.
Yeah. So then, once you kind of got everything worked, it's just a matter of working all the clips, making sure they all kind of pop out, come disconnected. Stay there. Stay there. You know what? Those clips are reversed. Okay. Not a problem. You know what I'm going to do? That's what we're going to do. I'm going to take the tail light off to show you guys what the clips look like, so that way we can kind of push them a little easier to kind of pop them out. But we'll go ahead and take the tail lights out real quick. Just a couple screws. Pop those out.
So another thing about this MBRP exhaust system is on the tips themselves. You know, when you go to put them on, you can adjust them. You know, so they're not welded on; they're basically clamped on. So that kind of gives you an idea of when you go put them on, you can kind of set them back and forth for the most part. So at the same time, I guess, guys, today you're looking at the way to remove your tail lights at the same time.
There we go. Doing a 3-in-1.
Thanks, Robert. We appreciate that, buddy. Yeah, I mean, you don't have to do the axle. If you're going to do the axle back, this is a regular axle back, Brady. You don't have to remove the rear bumper. No. Only reason we're removing this rear bumper is because we're going from the single tip, we're going to go to dual tips. So that's why we're removing the bumper today. Yeah. So at this time, we're kind of giving you an idea, like, hey, if you have single tips on your Camaro and you want the quad tip look, like I said, here, single tips, we're going to have quad tips on the back of this car now. So this is a 1SS, just so you know. Basically, a lot of the 1SSs, when they were early on, they didn't offer them with the dual tips. So we got this one. Ordered in November 2015, and we went to order. We could only get it ordered with the single tips. Now I think GM changed that, where if you have a 1SS, you can actually get quad tips, because we have a couple guys running around town here that we know of that have the quad tips.
Yeah, along with the 1SS.
Yeah, exactly, on the 1SS.
All right, so I got the tail light removed, and so pretty much all we got to do is once you get the 3 bolts back there, take the tail light, give it a nice little tug, and right there.
Now that was pretty quick. So I'll show you on the other side the hardware that he removed. Now obviously that took within minutes. He got one tail light out of the car. Yeah. So if you guys are looking at doing like dark tail lights or anything like that, this is minutes and how easy it is to basically do this to remove tail lights out of the car.
And some of you guys might say, oh, he makes it look easy. I've done it a couple times, but it's really not that hard.
Now you've done it with us today.
Yeah. So like as you can see here are the clips and where they kind of sit. You can see that you got a little bevel you kind of have to pull up on that will pop it off. So as you can see, the rest of it's kind of sliding off.
Let's. You want to take out this other tail light too, or are you just gonna pop that one?
That one we should be able to pop off.
Okay. Okay.
You can sit on that side just to make sure it catches.
Now, Brady, are you talking about headers, or are you talking about doing the full exhaust system? Because if you're doing the full exhaust system from Stainless Works on an SS, then yes, you can pretty much just get underneath your car. I mean, you're gonna need some room, but unless you're really thinning.
That's the Brady I'm thinking about. He's already got headers and stuff on.
Okay. Okay.
So I think he was looking at doing the axle back. I'm not sure exactly if he's got an X pipe or anything going on in his car, but yeah. If that's what I'm thinking about. So anyways, yeah, just to show you, the bumper popped off. You don't have to remove the tail light. I did just to show you guys the clips and what they look like, just so it makes it a little easier so you can understand what's going on. But here's the entire bumper, the entire rear section. The harness is all off in here to the side. And if you guys ever get under the car and you're doing this mod yourself, these are the clips you're going to see under the car. Okay. Off on here to the side, these are the ones you're going to see. You're going to see that one, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Those are the clips you're going to be able to see when you're under the car. The ones you're not going to be able to see are these two back here. Those two clips do have to be removed to get the diffuser off. So we'll go ahead and get that removed, along with all the other little clips and stuff that, you know, that's holding it down still. There's still this one holding it here. There's a bolt holding that this whole bracket in place. So other than that, just a bunch of clips.
Yeah, hey man, it is Brady. Not full exhaust yet. It's that Brady cam long tube back with X pipe. Okay. So yeah, so if you have single tips and you're going to quad tips, then you're gonna have to take this bumper off to change out the diffuser. But if you already have quad tips, then doing an axle back for the most part, no man, it's basically, if you're just gonna do the axle back and back of the car, man, if you're a skinny guy, you probably can just roll underneath it with the Sawzall and cut what you probably need to cut and put them on, depending on what system you go with.
All right, so we'll get those. Then what we'll do. Now the tricky part, as far as getting these clips off, is opening them up a little bit. They sit right up against the plastic here. They
got teeth on them.
Yeah, they got teeth on them. So you got to pull those teeth back a little bit, and then you're able to
kind of pry them out.
You know, that's why, like, when if you hear anybody that says, "Well, I got them off without removing it," you might have broke something.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. Trust me, because we actually tried the first time to see if we could get this rear diffuser off without having to take off the bumper. Because on the 5th gen Camaros, you can actually yank that rear diffuser out after you take off the hardware off the bottom.
That was very tough, but yeah.
Yeah, it's a little tough. You think you're going to destroy stuff, but on the 5th gen Camaro, obviously this is 6th gen, but on the 5th gen, you can pop it right off the car. So like for the guys that have the single tips and you're looking at doing like the 1LE diffuser on the 5th gen, then yeah, you can do that.
Yeah, it's possible. Like I said, this is probably going to be one of the longer parts. And I opened up the teeth here, and what I'm going to do when we go back together, I'm going to try and close them as best I can, so that way it gives me another nice firm fit, so that way they really grab onto there and don't move, don't come out.
So this is the time-consuming part, basically, of this diffuser swap out.
Yeah, just because, like I said, those teeth, they sit right up against everything, so it's kind of have to dig at it, get under there, and put them on.
Yeah, Travis. Hey, buddy. Yeah, it is very easy on the 5th gen. You don't have to go through this.
No. So, like you said, this is the time-consuming part. Just getting all those clips off. The easier ones are obviously going to be on the sides here. Those are a little easier.
Yeah, you don't have to dig down in a hole to get them, guys.
Yeah. And we got one more over here. Now, I don't think they make a special tool for this, guys. In case some of you guys are wondering, I'll just go buy a special tool for it. I don't think there's one available.
Horsepower gains, Robert. I think you're really not going to see much of a horsepower gain with the exhausts for the most part. You're going to get more sound quality than anything.
Yeah. So then, as you can see, I took those other bolts loose and
We've got these tabs over here.
So that entire bracket is going to sit off to the side. So now what I'm going to do, get another trim tool here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull this up out of the way.
Brady, you know you're going to want to buy
it. So pop that one out of there. Pop this one out of here.
Now, if you don't have a trim tool, you can use needle nose pliers.
Yeah, those work out fine.
You know.
And what I'm going to do is, I'm going to set this back a little bit. I'm not going to remove it completely. I'm just going to set it back a little bit so that way I can just pretty much start working at these clips here. So all those clips are going to do is kind of fold up a little bit, and then they'll push out. You can see right there, pushed out fairly easy. I'll show you again, right there. So you just got to push the bottom side of it up a little bit, and then you can push the whole thing out. Much like, for you guys that saw the grill install we did, much like those clips, same thing. So we got those, all those done on the side, and then we'll just work on the top ones here. After I get this side, I like to get the sides first, so that way the sides aren't pulling everything back together. So the sides are all loose, and then we'll get the bottom side of them.
Okay, we are putting on the factory GM quad tip diffuser. We're taking off the single tip diffuser, or dual tip you'll call it, and we're putting on the quad tip. Yo, so sorry about that. People are screaming for an aftermarket non-PP single tip diffuser. Wonder if and when manufacturers will listen. You know, Ryan, that's kind of been the thing.
Yeah.
You know, is getting them to listen. So, for instance, like this particular manufacturer, MBRP, they don't offer a single tip option for their exhaust system.
Right.
So that's one of the reasons we're going with the quad tip on this Camaro.
These, my little screwdriver here. And I don't know if you guys can see how well y'all can see, but that little clip in there, you push that down, and the diffuser piece, once you have it all loose and everything, the diffuser itself will push out. So this entire plastic piece will push out away from the bumper.
Because it's part of the diffuser.
Yeah. And this was one of those clips that we were talking about. You know, if you pulled your diffuser off without removing the bumper, that's one of the clips that could possibly break. You know, so kind of something to keep in mind, guys. And once you got one loose, it kind of keeps that extra pressure, so it makes the whole thing a lot easier. So you can see, blowing right through these tabs.
He says that now. Watch, he's gonna get to one that kicks his ass here in a second.
Like I said, I keep this plastic piece on there just so I'm not having to remove it. If you guys at home, if you want a little bit extra room,
now,
take that off.
Yeah. So here's the thing: is we put down fender covers.
Yeah.
You see that right there? We put down fender covers for this, so it's not like we just stuck it on a table and just scratched the hell out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
now we got them all loose. Break that away from the bumper. And if I could get Ricardo over here to give me a hand.
the other Ricardo. That's Ricardo number 2.
Lift the bumper so we can pull the diffuser out. So there's a diffuser off to the side. Now what we'll do right now is we'll go ahead and take these reflectors off, and those are basically held on with just a simple Phillips head screw. Take those off, this tab on this side, and they'll just come out. They'll go right back into the other location.
Cool. Why don't we just put that over? We'll take them out right now then, I guess.
Yeah. Smoke this a little bit.
Yeah, Ricardo, put it over there. We're gonna pop those out real quick. Yeah, that's it right there.
Little screwdriver, and as you can see, it fell right out. So those clips, that's all they do. They just fall right out. I'm not gonna have to worry about it. And that one, there we go. There we go. So we'll go ahead and get this off to the side. We'll get the quad tip one. And like Jason was saying earlier, guys, this one's painted. So we got this one painted to go along with the theme we have going on with the car. They do come gray from GM. So in case you guys are wondering.
They should come like a flat black.
Yeah.
Is what they are. And I mean, it doesn't have to be painted.
No.
But we, like Ricardo said, we wanted to go along with our gloss black theme that we have on this Camaro, so that's why we had it painted.
Just put those back. I know these don't go very tight, guys. These don't go very tight. I know I'm using a drill, but they don't go very tight. Simple hand tight is all you need on them. So then, put that back in place. So we got that put in. So then all we'll do is we'll get these clips and we'll push everything back together, kind of reverse order of how we took it off. Same thing, we're going to put it on. Bumper a little bit, get that slid under. Line up these tabs here. And what I'll do is I'll just pick a side, start, and work my way the other way, the other side. As you can see, this one's kind of holding, kind of binding right there. There we go. Go. All right, so we got all those bottom tabs put in. So then what I'll do is I'll take the sides of the diffuser and get that fitted in. So where are we at here?
Hey Jay, how you doing, buddy?
There you go. We'll take a little bit of maneuvering, just kind of get everything lined up. But a little bit of patience, and you'll just slide right back in place.
Now, here's the other thing about this, guys. I'm going to kind of touch point on something completely different. I'm going to kind of touch point at the fact that, here I am, Jeremy, is with body kit choices, I'm just going to touch base on the fact that some of you guys that want to do the street scene want to do the rear spats, and if you notice, the rear spats won't work on the dual tip diffuser, but they will work on this quad tip diffuser. So that's a plus about adding in this diffuser when you get, if you decide to do it. No, Ryan, this particular one becomes a flat black. It comes flat black. It doesn't come gray. It doesn't come. It doesn't come gray. It comes flat black. You got it? Yeah. Just a little massage.
Just a little bit. You know, the problem is, you know, I'm pushing and tugging on it, and the bumper keeps kind of turning.
Yeah.
So, something to keep in mind there.
So if you took this diffuser off on your Camaro, then you did a damn good job. So if you did, because like I said, we've had people say, "Oh, I've taken it off before." I'm like, "How?
Yeah.
How did you do it?"
Yeah.
You know.
So there we are. Got everything. Got all the tabs and everything put in. But yeah, like Jason was saying, to take this diffuser off on the car is really kind of, it's going to take you a little bit of work. You know. Hey, props to you if you did, though. I'll give you credit. So then what we'll do, we'll take this piece and we'll line it back up. Goes on the bottom side there, so that way we put the bolt back in it. We'll line this up here. Put those clips back in. Line that clip up, line that one up. This one's lined up, that one up. And you can see everything just lined right back up. A little bit of massaging, no problem. And there we go. So then we'll put these bolts back in it that I got over here, and we'll put those clips back on, and then the bumper will go back on the car.
And then at that point, if we have time, guys, we're going to put the rear axle back section, get that kind of fitted up there from the MBRP.
Yeah.
Fire it up for you guys so you can get an idea what it sounds like.
Yeah. And maybe later, once we finish everything, maybe later we'll do another live on location and we'll let you hear what it sounds like.
Exactly.
So we got that one lined up. Oh, got to transfer over that one tab. I'm sorry.
There we go.
To do that.
The diffuser.
The diffuser has a little tab on there. So like I say, guys, these clips, we'll go ahead and get these clips. Ricardo could go ahead and get me those tabs. These clips, all they do, since they got the teeth on them, they push right back down. And you want to push them as far as you can. Once you push them down, as you can see, they kind of grab it.
Yeah, you can get it seated all the way down to get the slack out of it.
Yeah.
Much louder than MPP, you think? So we've done this exhaust system on a different car.
Yeah, and it was actually an MPP car too.
Yeah.
So compared to the factory MPP, yeah. Was it louder? Yeah, I'm gonna say it was. It's a
Yeah.
lot louder.
And you can check our YouTube channel. We have that car on there, so you can. It's a black car. It's Thomas here in Houston.
Yeah. He's enjoying it.
Yeah.
He's loving it. Compared to his factory MPP, he's real happy about it the way it sounds now. So. I think he says his main problem is keeping his foot out of the gas.
Right.
I think that's his main problem right now. Which would be mine too, honestly.
But I think it's a great sounding exhaust. This is one of the reasons we kind of chose to do the diffuser on this. It's because we want to go with the MBRP.
And we thought about it for a while, as far as, do we stick with what we already have? Do we not? Well, decided why not change it up? Change it up and show you guys the different options that you can do.
That's his main problem as well, Brady.
So we'll get these clips. These clips are off of the other diffuser. I forgot to transfer these over. All these do is you got a little tab here. You take that little tab, they slide right off. Bend the tab back in place, and we'll slide it right back on.
Robert, no word yet, man. No word on that large tail for the 2018 ZL1 1LE. You know what looks cool though? Those canards on the front fascia.
That is pretty cool.
Those are pretty cool.
Anybody interested in a set of those?
Yeah. So I mean I like them on that ZL1 1LE. I think those canards on the side of the front look great. Obviously, we have an SS, so I've talked to a fabricator already about maybe seeing if they can make some for the SS just to kind of give it that race car look.
Yeah.
You find if you can get the ACS rear spoiler for the same price as the carbon black. Did you find out if you can get the ACS rear spoiler for the same price as the carbon black? So when you say carbon black, are you talking about the painted carbon, or are you talking about just carbon? I'm kind of lost on that one, Jay.
Yeah.
You might have to give us a call on that one.
Yeah. So now we got those bolts back in. Like I said, the main pieces holding that diffuser on are these bolts, the clips, and we're ready to go back on the car, as you guys can see. So we'll go ahead and throw it back on, bolt everything down, and see if we can fire it up. We've got enough time.
Yeah. Jay, I mean, obviously the spoiler from ACS, it's going to come primer. The carbon black's an additional, I forget how much it is actually. I think it's a couple $100.
A couple $100 for the carbon black to be painted.
Yeah.
So when we put back together, guys, I usually start here at the top, right here in the center, make sure everything lines up there, and I work my way back out. Essentially, the way we worked our way to take it off, we're going to work reverse order and put it back on. So you guys can see, body lines and everything lines up. We'll bolt all that down. Double check this side over here. Carter did a great job. So we'll get the tail light put back on and plug everything together. And you guys might be wondering, what's this extra harness? This was a test harness actually that we had for our reverse LED kit that I'm hoping to have back in stock here pretty soon. We have the harnesses done, and now we're waiting on LED bulbs. I know we've gotten a lot of questions, a lot of messages and stuff like that, so I'm waiting on bulbs. Hopefully they'll be here pretty soon.
We have plenty of harnesses waiting on bulbs.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mike. 249, Jay. Yeah, it's like...
There we go.
John, you just tuned in. Why was the number off? Which number? Oh, are you talking about bumper? Bumper off?
Oh, bumper.
Okay, the reason we took the bumper off, hey, grab me that diffuser over there. I'm going to show you why the bumper was off. So what we've done is, John, I'm going to catch you up real quick, is we changed out this rear diffuser. Okay, you can see here that this is what they consider dual tip. Some people call it single tip. We went to the quad tip. Why are we doing that? The reason why is because we're going from this dual tip stainless works exhaust system, we're going to the MBRP quad tip exhaust system. It's going to be like I explained earlier, the stainless works. It's not overly aggressive on this particular model. Okay, so what I like about it, though, I will say I'm going to keep this exhaust system. I'm going to keep this diffuser just for the simple fact that if I have a wife. No, that's not the reason why, but
That's why. That's exactly why. So, you even got Jeremy over there.
Because in case she gives me any shit about this exhaust system here, I can always tell her I'm going to put that one on. No.
That's why, guys. Don't let him fool you.
Yeah, no, we don't. Hey, we don't offer the C7 carbon splitter yet, Miguel. So we actually talked to C7 probably about a week and a half ago. I think last week maybe. We've gone back and forth.
That's all you, man.
Huh? That's all on me. I'm not. I haven't had time to get back with those guys. Yeah. But anyways, yeah, John, just to catch you up, man, we're putting that. We're taking that one on and putting on this MBRP, which we'll show you underneath here in just a second. Yeah. Exactly what is involved with that, and it's pretty damn. It's to me, it's much more aggressive.
Yeah. You guys might be asking yourself, why are these guys doing it? Well, I mean, we wanted to change the sound, but we also been going to a couple of shows here recently, and I want to say the next two that we have lined up, we wanted a different change, a different sound to it. So, you know, we're kind of making some changes as we're going between shows.
Well, not only that, but it allows us to test the exhaust systems, and that way we know the characteristics of that exhaust system.
Yeah.
You know, so that's one of the main reasons why. It's like we work with both these manufacturers. Stainless works on this exhaust system, and we work with MBRP on this exhaust system. That way we can give you back the feedback. You're going to see it live. We're going to tell you exactly what it entails to put it on, what it sounds like, what we found out. That way we can relate that back to you guys. All you guys, thanks, man, Alan. We have an awesome job. Yeah, sometimes. Most of the time, I'm not gonna lie to you. Yeah.
We try.
Do y'all happen to know if the weight difference between the MPP muffler and the MBRP? You know, so you can definitely be able to see that the stainless works is going to be a heavier exhaust system, because I mean, when it comes to, that's what you're going to have under there. That's basically the mufflers for the most part. And what they did, they put that on there mainly for resonance noise more than anything. That's why those are there. Because Martin, the owner of MBRP, he has a manual white 6-gen Camaro, and they built this on these systems on his Camaro. And one of the things it took a little bit of time to release the MBRP exhaust system, for the simple fact is they wanted to make sure that these were correct, that these weren't going to drive people crazy and still have a good sound.
Yeah. So all I'm doing, guys, I'm just kind of blowing through, getting everything installed so we can fire it up for you guys. Reverse order of taking everything off, put everything back in place, and we're good to go from there.
So it's either take the bumper off to get the diffuser out. Yes, just go back after you'll be able to watch this video again. It is easier to take off the bumper to remove the diffuser. Like we showed, there's clips in there that are going to be just way too hard to get to.
Yeah, there's some hardware in the back that you don't see, and that's what you want to kind of aim at getting at. So, socket here.
So if you're talking about, Jay, so I want that ZL1 style spoiler painted gloss black. The regular ZL1, I think we showed that one a couple of weeks ago. Yeah. That one, we had that one painted gloss black on B2.0.
Yeah.
And it turned out nice.
Bolted right on.
Yeah.
You know, some of the guys are wondering. It bolted right in place.
Miguel, I want it in satin black. My car is mosaic black, metallic, so So I did my ACS splitter and side rockers as satin black. Looks so good. Yeah, they do look good, man. Like that one, we painted it white. We had that inset done in black. I think we showed you it before. Here are the side skirts here from ACS that we had. We also had these painted gloss black. And the other thing we did is our front splitter as well. We had that painted gloss black as well. So kind of gives you an idea of the ACS stuff. I have a 13 Camaro RS. What's a good aggressive exhaust for my model?
Catback or axle?
Devin, I'm gonna probably say, you know, aggressive on the 13 RS. And when you say RS, I think you're talking about the V6 for the most part. I'm more prone. We're more prone, I guess, to the MRT.
Yeah.
The MRT, either the 1.0 or the 2.0. The 2.0 is by far the bigger seller because it's not that it's aggressive. It gives you a deeper sound.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know,
more, some guys with the V6, you want that lower tone to it. So the 2.0 that they have gives you a little bit lower tone as compared to the 1.0. The 1.0 is going to be a little bit higher pitched. Some guys don't like that one as much, but the 2.0 definitely, that's when we give you your low tone.
Yeah, you know, so Brady, this car's dropped a 1.5 drop on there. We have to be pretty damn careful at times with that we do. With that front splitter, man. Yeah. I mean,
going up sideways on the driveway, going up, avoiding certain speed bumps around town, but
yeah, parking lots, man. You got to watch those parking lots. You know, you might go in a smooth entrance, and then as you're trying to exit, you're like, man, that looks like a mountain. You know, so
yeah. So we got that all put in place. So now what we'll do.
You know what's nice though? You know, Miguel, what's nice about the ACS splitter is that it's easy to remove. I mean, all those, you can see right here, all of these, I don't know if you can see them that well, but all of these right there, all those 7mm screws, they can be removed. And that definitely makes it easy. So like if we're gonna go somewhere, or if we're gonna load it on a trailer, if we think the trailer's gonna be too steep or something, we're going to take that splitter off.
Yeah, that's unfortunately what we have to do.
So here we are, guys. We've got the exhaust system on. Ricardo's going to throw in these tips for you. We've got the diffuser on. It looks great. Look at that. So here on this exhaust system, we talked about being a cat back system. So first calic converter, second calic converter. On the automatic car, you're going to cut it roughly about, you're probably, I don't know, man, that's probably what, about 4 inches back from the secondary calic converter. And then this is the full cat back system. Now, on this stainless works exhaust system right here, this bolted up. It went here, okay? It went in here. This is the factory clamp, and then you see that flange side bolted up right here. So we removed both of these calic converters, but then now, like I said, we had to put them on. They were still connected to our factory exhaust, so we put them back on, and then this is the layout of the MBRP right here, full 3-inch. Now the reason on taking the diffuser off, here's another thing is you don't have to take off the wheels. The reason we took off the wheels was so we could show you guys exactly we could show you exactly how to get in here as well. But it's a good thing we have the wheels off today, and the reason why it's a good thing we have the wheels off today is because a lot of times people ask, what tire do I run and on the back of these cars if I'm going to go with like replica wheels, something like 11. And if you've heard a lot of it, we've talked about a lot, is that, you know, if you go with a 35 profile, so this is a 305 35 20, it's going to rub, okay? And where is it going to rub? It's going to rub right there. That's exactly where it's going to rub. So what we do is we pull this panel back, okay? That wiring harness in there, it has 2 clips on it. So what we have done is we cut those clips off, and then you see that silver tape? That's ducting tape. It's not duct tape, it's ducting tape, okay? So it's like used on AC system, and it's like a metal. It's kind of hard to see up in there. But we tape it back to the body. That way we don't have to worry about rubbing that harness, because if you rub that harness right there, it's going to kill your fuel pump. So that's food for thought, guys. When you're doing wheels and tires, if you do a 35, a 40 on a wide wheel, you're gonna rub right there. Now, obviously, you can see that that's how much clearance we have between that harness. That way, you can. That's how much clearance. Like I said, it doesn't rub. It doesn't rub at all. It just rubs this felt liner, and that's the only spot. You don't get that on the passenger side at all. It's only the driver's side. It's only the driver's side, and there again, it's happened to be right there where that harness is.
Yeah.
So that kind of sucks. You know?
Yeah, it was just because that harness pushes everything back.
Yeah.
You know, so it's really nothing, you know, wheel or tire or is anything wrong. It's just that harness pushes that liner back just that little bit. So.
You know, Brady's like, you're going to put the dancing shoes off for the Texas 2K. I know why you took the wheels off. Man, actually, this car is going to be up in Grapevine over the weekend. So we're going to miss the Texas 2K. So unfortunately. But yeah, it leaves out tomorrow morning. But if I had to put on some wheels and tires, we're looking at doing the race stars, guys. You'll probably have those added here in the next couple weeks. But that's probably be something I would probably be interested in adding. The reason why too is if you've seen the race star wheels, they have almost the same pattern as like the Z28 replica. So for us, you know, throwing some tires on the rear, it definitely make a difference. I'm wanting new AFE headers and full exhaust. Sounds awesome with some good gains. You know what? They do sound good, and we haven't tried them on anything. We haven't installed them, but
the products are always
be pretty cool.
The products are always perfect from AFE, so we've never had a problem with AFE and their stuff not fitting or not, you know, going correctly or anything.
Yeah.
So you guys might be asking yourself what is taking me so long. Well, these hangers back here on the back, it's kind of hard to slide this piece in place and get it on the hanger over here. So I actually had to take this hanger off so that way we can slide it on here and then get it on the car. Well, see, guys, the car is actually going to be in a show there. It's a manufacturer show. It's actually, believe it or not, it's going to be in the MBRP booth. So this car is going to be, we're not going to actually have the car in our possession. Kind of sucks, yeah. But let me ask you this: what's good to do for what's going on?
What's going on St. Patrick's Day? That's what I want to know. We're looking for some good spots to hit. You guys got any questions about anything? Like I said, we've showed you how to swap out the diffuser.
We're finishing up the catback.
We're going to finish up this catback system. Beer probably. Yeah, it's definitely have beer involved. So from the back of the car, that's what you're going to see right there. What's harder to remove, the front or rear bumper?
The front.
Yeah,
the front.
You think the front? Because of the bolts on the side?
Just because of all the bolts on the side.
Yeah.
They're a little harder to get to. Not that they're impossible or anything, but they're a little harder to get to, so let's hit the front.
So we had a live video we did 2 weeks ago. Somehow, I think since it was over an hour, Facebook kicked it out. But we showed you removing the front bumper and actually installing the performance grille, which what we did was we did two things. We actually showed you how to install this performance grille here, as well as the flow tie main grille at the top there. But unfortunately, like I said, somehow that when we were doing, after we finished it, Facebook took it down.
Not sure why, but that's what happened. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and kind of leave everything a little loose. Still have a little bit of adjustments to make as far as so we can get the tips lined up and everything. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to tighten them down right now, just so we can fire it up for you guys.
Yeah.
I know Brady's been waiting. So.
Yeah, and so basically, we're not going to put the tips on right this second, but we're going to fire it up. We want to definitely let you hear what it sounds like. So I'm going to touch on something real quick. If you had an MPP, it comes with brackets. Okay? And what these brackets are basically going to do is they're going to mount the MPP. The MPP pretty much looks, they look just like those. The AFM valves, the MPP. What you're going to find if you have an MPP car, you're going to take these brackets, and where you see these two bolt screws right there, it's going to mount on the other side, back there. You'll mount those motors there, and obviously you'll have a wire connection that you can connect them back together. You're not going to use them, okay? You're not going to use them, but it does something with them. Like, obviously, this is an AFM car. This is where the AFM valves would have went. We're not going to have these hooked up. It's going to throw check-ins. We understand that.
So we're just going to tie those out of the way.
We're just going to tie them up out of the way. Watching from the RGV, that's my nephew. Cool.
All right.
Pat Garcia.
Actually, oh, that's my aunt.
You know that? You know that guy? You know that guy right there?
Tune in. Tune in.
So again, we went from that diffuser to that diffuser. You can kind of see the differences in them.
So we'll get this table out of the way here.
And then we'll get this fired up. But there again, like I said, these tips, it's going to be 4 of them. See how much bigger they are than factory. You're going to go in there like that. But let's go ahead and fire this thing up.
Do you have the key with you by any chance?
I do not. Hey, grab the key real quick, Ricardo.
So while he's grabbing the key, like I said, we just kind of finished everything up. And as you guys can tell, the it opens now, so it's reconnected.
I wasn't going to ask you, man.
It's reconnected, so we got that. We're good there. So we'll go ahead and fire it up. And like I said, everything's still a little loose. We still need to make some adjustments, put the tips back on, obviously, and we'll be done. But tune in later. Probably, I want to say sometime this afternoon, we'll probably be doing another live video when we go do a video off of the exhaust system itself. For now, let's go fire it up. Ready?
Yeah, let's do it. So that's much more aggressive than the stainless works, and it has all the counterparters on the car. That's what it is, guys, right there. So if you've seen our videos before on the stainless works, and that's MBRP is much more aggressive than the stainless works. So, but if you don't want something that aggressive, I recommend going with the stainless works. If you want aggressive, go with MBRP. This is their race system, guys. So it definitely makes a huge difference in sound. And not only that, adding the diffuser on the back is going to give it that quad look, and it's going to look badass. So
definitely, yeah. So something to think about. So I mean, like I said, stay tuned for a little bit later. We might do a live show once we're on location, doing some video clips for MBRP.
Yeah.
And we'll go from there, guys.
Yeah. So stay tuned. Like I said, it's a good day out here in Houston, Texas. It's bright, it's nice and clean. Oh, yeah. So we're gonna make some pulls on it. You can see us on location exactly what we do when we get our test clips and stuff.
Yeah.
So
we're gonna go ahead and finish it up, and we'll check you guys out later.
Yeah. So thanks for hanging out with us today. If you're not liked our Facebook page, obviously most of you have. Like it, visit us on Instagram, and guys, again, thank you for hanging out with us today.
We'll see you guys.